Okay, in the previous video, I showed you how to build this app where it's pretty simple. You click on this Say It button and it says some words, right? And the app, the blocks are pretty simple. It's basically when the button is clicked, you want to speak some words. That's what happens. But in this video, what I want to talk about is the grammar of an app. Just like with an English sentence, you have subject, verb, object. With apps, you need to learn the terminology and the grammar in the same way, especially as things get more complicated. We need to be able to communicate about them. And so the key, kind of definitions here is one is an event, and think of an event as something external, that happens to the app. Like the most common one is when a button gets clicked on the app, right? But this button click is an event. This whole thing here, this whole thing, including the event and the kind of response inside it, that whole thing's called an event handler. Okay, right? It's, how does the app handle an event? How does it respond to an event? So we would call all of this an event handler. We would call just this button dot click an event. And then inside here, we'd call this a response or an operation. Okay, or also a function call. We're calling the function text to speak function is what we're doing. What I'm showing over here is just some text from a Thunkable book that I've written, and it's available on Amazon. If you just search for Amazon and Thunkable, the first link that comes up is this book called Drag and Drop Code, Create iPhone and Android Apps with Thunkable. And so if you want to really learn how to code and learn some computer science, get this book. It also walks you through building a bunch of apps like these videos do. But it's great, kind of addition to, you can have this on your tablet, the book on your tablet to walk through as you're trying to learn how to build apps. And it's really helpful. And it's $9.99. So get this book. But anyway, the terminology you want to learn for now is event handler. Event handler is an event along with a response. And that's kind of what this picture shows. Really an app, and let me just go a couple pages over or one page over. Really an app is made up of a number of event handlers, one or more, right? My simple Say It app is just one event handler, but typically you're going to have a bunch of event handlers in your app, and each event will just have its own response operations. And so, so the structure of an app, if someone says, what is an app? What an app is, from a user's point of view. From a coder's point of view, you might say it's a set of event handlers. And then you're really talking the language of code. I just want to show you one more picture here. So here's a bunch of Thunkable events. Button.click is, like I said, the most common. With a button, you can also do a long click, like if the user presses, for more than just a tap. And you could do a different response for that. Timer.fires is as time passes if you want something to happen. Screen.open is right when a screen in your app opens, including the initial screen, what you want to happen there. There's components called sliders where, these are the things where you can kind of choose between 0 and 100. And when the user kind of drags that slider, that's an on value changed event. You can put maps into your app, and there's an on press event. And then there's a bunch of apps for games, like for instance, you can have sprites in your app, and if they happen to collide with each other, like in an asteroids game, you might have a collides with event. And whatever you put inside here is going to happen once those components, or once those sprites collide. So anyway, as you're going through the tutorials and learning how to code these apps, and they're going to get more and more complicated, take some time to make sure, if you can get this book, or look at these videos, watch these videos and learn the grammar of what you're doing, and it will really kind of inform you as you move on, and you'll be able to understand as we get into more complex things.